Hello and welcome to the University of Strathclyde. This talk is designed to introduce the IT facilities available at Strathclyde that might be useful to you while you're a student here. If you have any further questions after this talk, please do get in touch with us. There'll be contact details at the end. This talk is going to cover EduRoam, the Wi-Fi service available across the university, your student email account, multi-factor authentication or MFA, printing services that are available in the library, Microsoft 365, formerly known as Microsoft Office, and other software downloads that are available to you, OneDrive, the cloud storage service, and the Strathclyde mobile app. The library itself also contains many PCs you can use, as you can see in that top image, and the lower image is the library inquiry desk on level 3, where you can come with any library or IT inquiries. So EduRoam is the main university Wi-Fi service. It is available all over campus, and once you've set it up in one location, that should be you able to connect your device anywhere on campus. You can also use it when visiting other campuses. So if you do go to use the library facilities at University of Glasgow, say, as long as you're set up on Strathclyde before you go, you should be able to connect to EduRoam there as well. It can be used for laptops, tablets, or phones, basically any device that you can install an app on. And you will need to set up your device on campus before you're able to use it. So you will not be able to just connect to it in your Wi-Fi. You do have to perform a setup process first of all. So we have guides available for how to set up EduRoam on different devices. You can go to that link there, or the link should be in the comments below this video as well. For Windows and Mac laptops and for Apple, iPad and iPhones, essentially you need to connect to this Strath Wi-Fi setup network, which is also available across campus, and follow the instructions for your device. This will involve installing some kind of app and logging in with your username and password. It's a little different for Android devices. As long as you're using Android 11 or newer, you just want to go to your Google Play Store and install the Get EduRoam app. For Linux or Chrome OS devices, it can be a little more complicated, and we'd recommend that you bring these to us at the inquiry desk, but they should be able to access EduRoam. So once you have the installer, run that, and you will be asked for a username and a password. You have a unique username for EduRoam, which is different from a username you use anywhere else. It is your DS username, followed by @strath.ac.uk. The DS username is the one that is 3 letters followed by 5 numbers, so it's going to look something like abc12345 @strath.ac.uk. This is a username that you use only for EduRoam. Essentially, it's because it's a service used at different universities. The password is the same as your university password though, but do be aware if you've recently changed your university password, it may take about 15 minutes before it updates your EduRoam password. There are also other Wi-Fi networks available across campus. There is a guest Wi-Fi network for visitors. This can be accessed by anyone, but I would generally recommend not using it as a student. It's much slower than EduRoam, and it also requires logging into a third-party service. If you're living in student halls and have another kind of device to connect, such as a smart TV or a games console, we do have an Internet of Things network available to connect these sorts of devices to. Your device has to be set up in advance for this though. Email us at help@strath.ac.uk for further advice. On to your university student email account. All students are going to have a Strathclyde email address. And we recommend that you check this regularly, even if your course involves placements where you're going to be away from campus. You can access your email online just by going to outlook.com, but we do recommend that you install an app to ensure that you're getting notifications about any new email. Third-party mail apps can work if you're used to using something like the built-in mail app on an Apple iPhone, but we strongly recommend using the Microsoft Outlook app for better compatibility. And do be aware that your email account will eventually close after you graduate. We recommend that you don't use it to sign up to any services if it doesn't need to be a university email address, simply because we often see users trying to come back to us after they've left the university, needing access in order to regain access to another service, and you won't be able to do this. All Strathclyde users must now use multi-factor authentication, or MFA, when signing in from off-campus. This is required for services including your Strathclyde email account, MyPlace, which is the main teaching platform, and Pegasus, which is the student admin platform. The reason we have this is it keeps your account far more secure than relying on just a password to protect it. If you already registered, you have set up MFA to access Pegasus, but if you still need to set it up, you can find guidance at that webpage there, or the link should be in the comments below. We strongly recommend that you set up more than one method of multi-factor authentication. Basically, once you've set up your first method, at any time you can go back to that web page there and you'll be able to set up additional methods. This could be adding a phone number, which allows you to get codes via SMS to log in, or you can set up the Authenticator app again on different devices so that you can authenticate with, say, both a phone or a tablet. And the reason why it's important to set up more than one method is it means that you can still get access to your account if your first device is lost or damaged. If you have lost access to your MFA method, we can also reset the MFA on your account, although we can only do this during inquiry service hours, so it may be less convenient for you. You will have to either visit us at the inquiry desk in the library with photographic ID, or you need to email us at help@strath.ac.uk, but you must email us from the personal email address that we have recorded for you on your student record so that we can verify it is yourself. Do check that you still have access to that personal email address, especially if you perhaps first applied to the university using a school email address, as it is important as any password resets will also be sent to that address. Once we do an MFA reset, give it a few minutes to be processed and then try logging in again. You should then find that you're asked to set up MFA as if it was the first time. So there are printers available throughout the library. There are large printers like that one pictures that can print in A3 or A4, and there's also some smaller tabletop printers that print in A4 only. You can print from any PC in the library to any printer in the library. Just be aware that they do sometimes take a few minutes to load, so once you've logged into a PC, they may not appear immediately, but they should appear within about 5 minutes. You go to File Print as you normally would, and there should be print options listed called A4 Colour, A4 Black and White, and so on. You can also print directly from your own device online by going to that web address, but be aware that has limited options such as only allowing double-sided printing. You'll get more control if you log on to one of our PCs. Outside of the library, but within the same current building, there is also a department called Print Services, and they can do binding for you for printing of your dissertation, and they can also do large format printing up to A0 if you want a giant poster for a presentation. So once you've sent your file to the printers, either from a PC or from your own device, you'll want to go up to a printer in the library and tap on the touch screen to turn it on. And on that screen that appears like there in the image, you need to log in. You can enter either your email address or your DS username as the username, and the password will be your university password. Once you've logged in, there will be a button that says Print All, or there's another button that just says Print, which can be used to select specific prints to release. There are also options on those printers for scanning or photocopying. If you scan, it gets sent directly to your student email address. You do have to pay for credit for printing. You will have an initial £1 of print credit on your account. A4 printing is £5 per sheet black and white and 10p a sheet in colour, and it's double the price for A3 printing. And that is per sheet, so if you print double-sided, it will give you 2 pages for the price of one. You can add credit online via that web address I mentioned before, or you can also add credit using the print credit kiosk in the library, which is pictured there. Just log in with your username and password, enter how much credit you would like to add, and you can pay by either contactless or chip and pin. Moving on to Microsoft 365, which was formerly known as Microsoft Office, all students can download this for free. Just go to www.office.com, make sure that you're logging in with your Strathclyde email address and password, and on the front page there will be a button that says Install Apps. You can also use Office apps directly in a web browser at office.com, but these are quite limited versions and you would be better to ensure you have the full version installed. You can install 365 on up to 5 different personal devices at once, which includes a mobile device. Just make sure you are signing in with your Strathclyde email and password to get licensed. And if you do already have an installation from before, you can just log out and log back in with your Strathclyde details, and that should be licensed. You can also install the Microsoft 365 app on mobile devices and sign in with your Strathclyde email and passwords. That will also automatically connect to your OneDrive, so it's a good way to look at your files on the go. In terms of other software, we have a wide variety of software available on Pegasus to download. If you go to Pegasus, you'll find a tool called Available Licensed Software. If you go into that, you'll find this list, which involves many software packages that are used across the university. Some software is only provided on a departmental level if only one department uses it, but any software that we support will be on that page in Pegasus. There's also a Windows Virtual Desktop service. This lets you remotely connect to a virtual PC pre-installed with all the main software used at the university. So it's ideal if you only want to use a piece of software once, or if you have another kind of device, such as a Chromebook or an iPad, that you couldn't normally install the software on. You can find the Windows Virtual Desktop service at that page there, or the link should be in the comments below. OneDrive is Microsoft's cloud storage service, and all students have 1 terabyte of cloud storage space available there. We very strongly recommend that you save your work to OneDrive. It means it'll be accessible across campus and from your own devices, and files on OneDrive are automatically backed up. It also keeps a version history, which means that if you accidentally overwrite part of your work, you can go back to a previous version and get back what was lost. We really strongly ask you to save work to OneDrive, because if students have saved work on their own device or to a USB stick that then gets lost or damaged, there's nothing we can do to help. So please do ensure that you're saving your work somewhere where it is safe. If you install OneDrive on your Windows device, you can go into File Explorer and it will simply appear as a folder, such as it appears in that picture there. You can also install the Strathclyde OneDrive as well as a personal OneDrive and have access to both from the same device. Apps are also available for MacBooks and other kinds of device. They don't integrate in quite the same way, but you'll still be able to save files to your OneDrive and open them up from the OneDrive. You can also access the OneDrive through a web browser from that web address there. It will just come up with a list of folders and files that you can then download onto your device. And if you use Microsoft 365 in the mobile app form, that will be automatically saving work to your OneDrive and can open files from there as well, as can if you're using the online Microsoft apps at office.com. There are some other network storage options available to you. You'll have a 2 GB personal H drive, and each department also has an iDrive where shared files might be stored. You can request more H drive space if you run out of that initial 2 GB. But essentially, we recommend that OneDrive should be your first storage location. You might want to use the H drive if you're using sensitive research data that should be stored within the university. If you're undertaking group work, you'll probably be collaborating in Microsoft Teams. You can share files in your team. They'll be backed up in the same way that files are in OneDrive. And just to please reiterate, please do not save files only to your device. Always ensure your work is backed up somewhere safe where it will not be lost. The Strathclyde mobile app is very useful and is available on Google Play Store and in the Apple App Store. I would recommend you get this installed now if you haven't already installed it. It can show your class timetable. It will show library books currently on loan to your account. You can use it to book library discussion rooms, and you'll get regular notifications and university updates, which could include things such as changes to class locations or times. And there's much more, so do install this and give it an explore. It's extremely useful to have on your device. And just to briefly mention a couple of resources also available to all students that are worth knowing about. There is an electronic resource called Box of Broadcasts. You can log into this with your Strathclyde email and password, and it lets you view an archive of all TV that has been broadcast on Freeview channels going back to around 10 years ago. So there is a vast amount of documentary programs, films, and so on available to all students there. All Strathclyde students also have a free subscription to the Financial Times. You can access other newspapers' material via databases, but if you go to fd.com and try to log in with your Strathclyde email and password, it will give you access to Financial Times content directly on the Financial Times website. And just some final tips. Please do come visit us at the Library Inquiry Desk anytime we're open, and we can help you out with any library or IT inquiries. You can email us at help@strath.ac.uk. You can also browse our support guides at that web address there, or the link should be in the comments below, and you'll find lots of help for doing all sorts of things such as installing software packages or connecting devices to Wi-Fi. And we strongly recommend that you get practice with IT services now and get into the habit of using these services. If you get into the habit of using them now, it will save you lots of time in the long run. Thank you very much for listening, and please do get in touch if you have any further questions.